in the object-oriented programming, when we do a programming and we'll put object into the center, and we'll try to make each and every problem as an object. So we have to make a program in a different way. That particular way is called object-oriented programming. Here we try to create the object, its attributes, and related functions. So when we bind all these things together, means when we bind the attribute, which is your data related to the object, and the function together, that concept is actually called object-oriented programming. And there are many attributes. Some of the attribute we'll see in today's class of object-oriented programming. So let's try and begin this particular new concept of Python, which is called object-oriented programming. For this lesson, we construct our knowledge for object-oriented programming in Python by building the following topics. So we'll see some of the topics which is listed here. So we'll see what do you mean by object, how we'll create an object, using of class keyword. So we'll see here a new keyword which is called class, and with the help of class, how in Python we can create an object, that we'll see. Create class attribute, creating methods in a class. So how we can integrate a method. So we have seen that how we can create a function, right? But here it is called methods. So as I told you, the difference here in Python, when we call a method or when we call a function, so when we have a method means if we want to call the method, we have to use any object and the dot operator to call it. The same thing we'll do here. So we'll make the object of that particular class that we'll create, and this method will be used or method will be called of that particular class by using the object of the class. So that we'll see, and we'll see some of the property of object-oriented programming. So one property of object-oriented programming is inheritance. Another property of object-oriented programming is called polymorphism. Okay, so both these concepts we'll see. And there is some additional thing that we'll see is learning about special methods for classes. So we have some special methods that is dedicated for the Python classes. So about that also we are going to understand. So let's first understand what do you mean by object in object-oriented programming. So let's see a simple example and try to understand what do you mean by object. So if you'll see this particular code, here it is written first equal to 1, 2, 3, right? So what is 1, 2, 3? So 1, 2, 3 is nothing but the list, and we allocate the list into the first, which is a variable name. So now this first will become the list type, right? And when we find out the type of the list, type of the first, so it will give me this. It will say class and it will say list. It means that the first is an object that we have created of class list, right? So that's why it is written class list. So that first belongs to the class list. And what is first? First is nothing but one object. So we have created one object here. And which type of object it is? It is of list type. So that is how we interpret, or we say in Python, all those things. So what is it? It is first is a object of type class that we have to say. Now, you might have remembered that how we can call the method of the list related to the list. So what we have to do, we have to use the we have to use the object, then we have to use the dot operator, and then we have to use the method that we'll use here. Okay. So this is how we call a method in a using the object. So this is the method that we used to create from the class, which is an inbuilt class. So this is already there in the Python. We doesn't have to create it, or you can say we doesn't have to create any object here. Now in today's class, we try to see how we can create our own object. It means how we can make our own class. Through the class only we can create the object. So what we will basically be doing in this lecture is exploring how we can create an object type like list, and we have already learned about how to create functions, right? So here also we'll do the same thing. We try to make the functions related to the object that we'll create. So let's see how we can see different objects. So let's say if I want the type of 1, it means it is of which object? It is of integer object. If I have this type of thing, it is a list object. If we have this type of thing, it is a tuple object. If we have this type of thing, it's a dictionary object. So what I want to say is we have different classes in the Python, which is already inbuilt. And we know how we can create the object out of this class. And right now we'll see that how we can create our own object. So we create our own object using the keyword class. So we have to use the class keyword to do that. So what is a class? So class is a blueprint that defines the nature of the future object. From classes, we can construct instances. An instance is a specific object created from a particular class. For example, above, we create the object first. So first is nothing but the object that we have seen, which was an instance of list object, right? So what you can say is this first is nothing but an object that we have created from the class list. So it is also called instance. Okay. So let's see how we can create a class and how we can make the instance or the object. Now we'll use the class keyword and the class name we have to give and the colon. Here we have written pass. It means that there is nothing in the class. So class we have created, but we haven't defined it. We haven't have any attribute in the class, as well as we don't have any method in the class. So let's say if I want to create the object, I'll create the object like this. So I have created a class sample. So class sample is there. If we are making equal to x, it means that x is an instance, or you can say x is an object of class sample. So let's say if we want to print the type of x, so what it is printing? It is a class of sample, right? It is a class of sample. Why it is a main written here? Because it is a user defined class. It is a user defined class, means I have defined the class. So that's why this main is coming, but you ignore it and you just read that the x is an object of class sample. Okay, and x is also called instance. Okay, x is also called instance. X is also called object. By convention, we give classes a name that start with a capital letter. So generally what we do is the class that we'll create with a capital letter. Note that X is now the reference to our new instance of sample class. In other words, an instantiation the sample class, or making an instance of a sample class. Inside of the class, we currently just have pass. So here we have just pass, but we can define class attribute and methods here. Instead of pass, we can write some class attribute as well as we can write some methods here. An attribute is a characteristics of the object. So what is an attribute? Attribute is nothing but the characteristic of that object that we have to define. So as I told you, any problem will consider as a as an object. So any problem we consider as an object, and we'll try to write the program for that particular object. So if we have an object, we'll say that is in an attribute. Attribute is also, we can say, it is a characteristics of that particular object. Let's say if we talk about object dog. So dog has, let's say its breed and let's say its name, right? So dog has some attribute, right? There may be the color also. There may be the height also. There may be the male or female that we have some attributes. So all those are different attributes of an object. And what do you mean by methods? So method is an operation that we can perform with that particular object. So method is used for the object only, but it will work on the attribute. For example, we can create a class dog, and what should be the attribute of the dog? Here it is breed or its name. So we can say name or breed is an attribute. With a method of a dog may be defined as bark. So bark we can say is a method of that particular dog. Bark means methods which return a sound. Let's see with the help of example that how we can create an attribute. So we can create an attribute. This is the syntax of creating the attribute. Attribute means anything, like here we have the breed or the name, right? So we'll write here self.breed equal to some variable, right? In the same way we can write self.name equal to some variable in which we'll pass the name. And this is how we can create the method. So we can initialize the attribute. This is how we can initialize the attribute. This is the built-in methods for the class, and while defining the class we'll use this built-in methods. Here we have two underscore and we have init. It is a initialization function that we'll use. Again, after that we have two underscore. So as I told you, this is an inbuilt method used in a class while creating the object. This method is used to initialize the attribute of an object. So any object has different attribute. So initialize this particular attribute. Initialize means give the initial value. How we can give the initial value to any variable in the class? So we have to use this method. Okay. Attributes are of two type instances, and so first one is the instance, whatever attribute that we'll create of the type instance, or it is a type of that particular class. So we'll see about the attribute, and we'll see how many type of attribute that we can create into a class. This is one example. Here we have created a class dog, and inside the dog we have defined an inbuilt function where we have taken two attributes. One is the self, another is the breed. So breed is nothing but the variable that we have taken, and self is nothing but is a type of reference. So self will work on that particular object that is active now. So for activated attribute or the attribute in which we are working right now, for that there is a reference called self, is a keyword. And this is how we can define the object. So the object is breed. So we'll write it down, self.breed equal to breed, that particular variable. So this variable and this variable should be same. So we'll write it like this. But this is your attribute. Getting it? So don't be confused with that. Now this is your attribute, and we'll define the attribute with this self.attribute, and that attribute will be given some value here, some initialized value, and that value will be given through the init function. And because it is a special type of function, and this function we doesn't have to call. All the other function we have to call, but this function we doesn't have to call. This function will call itself when we create the object, or will create the instance of a class. So when we create an object, or when we create the instance of a class, this init function is going to call itself. It is implicit calling, that is called. Okay, we doesn't have to call it explicitly. Now let's see this particular example. There's a object that we have created. The object is Sam. Sam equal to dog. Dog is nothing but the class name. And inside that we have a variable called breed. So this is the breed that we are talking about. This is your breed 1, you can say, because we have changed this particular here. The same thing. So what is the variable that we are giving here? So we are giving here the variable as is a Labrador, and this is Husky. So this dog has an attribute, and this dog is also having the attribute. So we'll initialize the object with the attribute. So this is the way how we can do that. Here also we initialize the object with the attribute. Okay. And when we call this particular line, this init function will call itself. So we doesn't have to do anything. We just have to run it. Once we'll run it, this will be called. And if you want to find out the breed of it, you just have to write sam.breed. It will give you Labrador. And if you write frank.breed, it will give you Husky. Okay. So here, if you'll see, we have used the init function. And this init function is a special method in Python. And this particular method will be called, will call itself when we create an object. So here self is nothing but a reference to the object. So whatever object is active right now, we are making a reference of that particular object. Let's say if we are running this particular line, so Sam is active right now because Sam is an object. So for Sam, we'll write sam.breed. So we'll just replace self with Sam. This is happening in the compiler side. We doesn't have to worry about it, but we should know what is happening, right? So when we write this particular line, what will happen is this self will be replaced by Sam, and this breed will be replaced by lab. Getting it? So instead of self, we'll write sam dot breed equal to lab. Getting it? So sam dot breed, what is the value of sam dot breed? Now it is lab, which is a Labrador, the short form of Labrador. So let's see, and we'll call it. So if we'll call sam.breed, so it will give you Labrador as a output. And when we call when we find out the attribute of Frank, there's a, what is a breed? What is the attribute? Attribute is breed. So when we call the Frank objects attribute, so we have to do like this. So let me tell you, this is not an method. If it is a method, we have to use this, right? Because it is not a method, we doesn't have to use the bracket or the parentheses, right? Because it is a, you can say that we have the object, and this is nothing but its its attribute. So you can consider like this. Okay, so let's say if we'll talk about Sam, right? So we have Sam, which is written there, right? And that particular Sam is one object. So inside the object, one space will be allocated. And here we have the attribute. So what is the attribute we have in this particular? Okay. So here in this, what is the attribute? The attribute is breed, right? This breed is used there. So we'll use the breed here. Right. So that is the attribute of Sam. And we have another object that has been created. And what is the object is Frank, right? So this Sam and Frank is nothing but the dog name. So you can say one dog, which is Frank. This Frank is also having the attribute breed. And when we create it, we have given some value to breed, right? Some value to breed, that is for Sam, we have given Labrador. Right? And for Frank, what value we have given? We have given Friscan. Okay. So if I want that what is the breed of the Sam, so what I have to write? I have to write Sam.breed. In the same way, if I want to find out the breed of the Frank, so I have to write Frank.breed. So it will give me, if I write Sam.breed, it will give me this value. And if I write Frank.breed, it will give me this value. So you can see for each attribute of the object, one uh, memory has been allocated. And in this memory, there is separate value that will be there. So if you understand this, so Sam.breed will give me lab, which is a Labrador, and Frank.breed will give me Husky. The reason is because for both the object, we have created two different memory spaces. And these memory spaces will be having the values. The first memory space, which is of Sam, have the value lab, and for Frank, it is Husky. So I think you understood about this. That what is a attribute. Now in Python, there are also class object attribute, means the attribute which is related to the class. It means some static attribute. Means this type of attribute will be like this. So if we have created the attribute, that attribute belongs to the object. But there is some attribute that is common to all. Common to all. Let's say the dog. If we'll talk about dog, so Dog is of which category? It is of mammal, right? So it is of mammal category. So if we'll say what is the type of it, so let's say this mammal is a value here, and let's say which variable we have used here as a global variable or the class variable we have used, sorry, static variable or the class variable we have used species. So this variable name is species. So when I say Sam dot species, what it will give you as output? Mammal. If I say Frank dot species, what it will give you? Mammal, right? Because Sam and Frank both can have only one version of the variable, and that is called species variable. Getting it? So in object-oriented programming using C++, we create these type of object, or sorry, these type of attribute using static keyword. So at C++, we say it is a static variable, and which we use inside the class. Here we have this particular variable or this particular attribute is called class variable or class attribute. Okay. For the attribute which is, let's say, is not a class attribute, we'll make a separate copy whenever we create the objects. Let's say we'll create another object, so we'll create, let's say Sam, let's say we have another dog which is called Tom, and we'll create another attribute, right? So here also we have breed. Why we have breed again? Because for this particular attribute belongs to the object. This particular attribute belongs to the object. But this particular attribute doesn't belongs to the object. It is called class attribute. And this class attribute will be shared between all the object that we'll create. So let's see the example here. In this example, the same class dog has been created. Inside that, we have taken a class attribute. It is also called a static attribute. And this is called species mammal. And we have a function called init function. This will initialize the attribute that we'll create. So this time we have self is for just replacing the object name, which we have taken as a reference. Then we have taken here two variables. One is the breed variable, another is the name variable. So right now I have two variables inside it. I have a breed variable as well as I have a name variable. So let's say if I'll create an object Sam and I'll put the value here lab and Sam. What is the meaning of that? That lab is nothing but the breed and the Sam is nothing but the name. Getting it? So if I want the name, so I'll write sam.name. It will give me what is the name of that particular object, this object. In the same way, if I want sam.breed, it will give me the lab as a breed. Now for sam.species also, because species is also an attribute here, but this attribute is common to all the object. Let's see how we can create a method here, or how we can make a method inside the class. So method is nothing but some sort of object, some sort of function that we'll create. And you know about the function, right? How we can create a function. So we'll create a function using def keyword. And function maybe it will take no argument, or it will take n number of arguments. So these functions are used to perform operation with the attribute of our object. So it will perform some operation with the attribute. So whatever function will create the function to do some operation related to the attribute. Methods are key concept of object-oriented programming paradigm. They are essential to dividing responsibility in programming, especially in large applications. Okay, so in large application, this function is having a vital role. Methods are of two types: accessor and mutator. Accessor means the method that will just access the attribute, and mutator are those functions or those methods which can mutate or which can modify the value of the attribute, because both are working in the attribute. One is just accessing the attribute, another is changing the attribute. That's why the methods may be of two types: accessor or mutator. There are different type of methods we have. First type of method is called instance method. Work with any of the name that we'll give of that particular method, and will pass self there. Self means it is a reference to that particular object which is calling this particular function. Class method work with the class CLS. We have a class method also. It is also called decorator. Okay, the class methods that we'll create is also called decorator. Here we'll use the attribute as CLS. Here the attribute is self, which is called instance method. Class method will use CLS. Then we have this some static methods and whatever attribute that we want to give, that is called static methods. We can basically think of methods as functions acting on an object that take the object itself into account through its self argument. So let's see and try to understand all three different type of methods that we can create inside the class. Okay. Let's see this. We have a class, and the class has a name called circle. Now we have the class variable, or sorry, the class attribute, or you can say the static attribute, which is called pi. The value of pi is 3.14. Now after that, we use some attribute, right? So for making the attribute, we have a function called init function. We use self there. Self is used for the reference to the object that we'll create. And we'll take an attribute called radius. So circle has an attribute called radius. Default value is 1, means if we'll create an object and will not provide any value to the radius, it will take 1 by default. Then after that, we have, this is the variable that we have taken, and then we have two attributes of any object. One attribute is called radius, another attribute is called area. So we'll find out the radius by this particular variable called radius here, and we'll find out the value of area by this particular equation, which is called radius into radius into circle dot pi. So because pi belongs to the class variable, if I want to use the class variable, I have to use the class and that dot operator and that pi. Because this pi is not at all accessible inside this scope, it will be accessible outside the scope. That's why we have to use circle dot operator to use the pi function. So what it is doing, it is just calculating the area of a circle and this is the circle, the radius of a circle. Now after that we have some methods. One of the method is called set radius method. What it is doing is, it is a type of mutator which is mutating the value, right? And it is called a self. So it is calling, using the self. It is a type of instance method. Getting it? So the set radius is a method of type instance method. Why? Because we have used self keyword here. Now if you want to change the radius of a circle, we'll use the variable called new radius, and we'll put the value radius to the new radius, and we'll calculate the area according to the new radius. Getting it? Now here it is self. The reason is because once we have created an object will be replaced with self. So we can actually access the class variable also. How we can access the class variable? sam.mammal, right? But here self is there. It means that self, what is the meaning of self? Self will be replaced by any object name. So any object name dot pi will give you the pi value. Now next is another method which is getting circle circumferences. So here it is creating a circumference of a circle. Here again is an instance method, and it is just returning self.radius into self.pi into 2. It will give me circumference of a circle. Now after that we are using a class method. Inside the class method we have to use keyword CLS, and this CLS class method is used to access or used to mutate the variable which is the attribute which is called class attribute. So to access the class attribute we can use this class method. Okay, and again we have a method which is called a static method. It doesn't have any self on it. So this particular method will work for all the functions, all the object without actually using the object name. Here we have a variable called C. So C is nothing but an object that we have created. Once we'll create the object without any attribute here, so it will take radius as 1, and it will give radius value as 1 and area value as 1 into 1 into 3.15. So what is the area value? Area will be 3.15. Now circle.getPi will display the value of pi, and circle.display will display this particular message. Now if you want to print radius is c.radius will give me the radius value, c.area will give me the area value, c.gets circumference will give me the circumference value. Now here circumference is an instant variable. So it is a method, actual method that we have to use using the object dot operator. But display is not the method of an object. The display is a method of the class. So that's why if we want to use display, we have to use again the dot operator, but we'll use class name instead of object name. So to run this, we will get this particular output. Now let's see if I want to use this display and I am using object out of it. So here if you see, because that object has been created from the class only, this is working fine. and we can call it. Can we call the display without the dot operator? No, without the dot operator, it is running, but it is not giving you any output, because here at the outside of the class, there is no display function, right? So if you are calling the display function, it is actually not giving you the any of the output. So either you have to use class class name, or you have to use object name to calling this particular display function. Then only it will display. Okay. So what we have seen different type of methods that we can put inside the class. So one method is nothing, it is an inbuilt method which is used to initialize the attribute. This is called instance method. This is also called instance method because we have used self there. This is called class method because we have used CLS inside that. And this is a static method which is for all. Here we doesn't have anything inside the attribute portion of the object, sorry, of the method. Now let's see another example where we can we can set the radius. So here it is a mutator method we have used, that is called c.setRadius. Which one it is? So this one is this set radius. So we are calling this c.setRadius, and we give the value as 2. So once we give the value as 2, so it will take the value of 2 and it will redefine the radius as 2, and the area will be 4 into 4 into 3.14, and it will find out the circumferences, which is 2 into, that is 2 pi r, right? So 2 into radius into pi value. So here we'll see radius is 2, area is another one, and the circumferences will be calculated. Here the radius is 1, area is 3.14, and circumferences is 6.28. Here we have 12.56. So this is all about your class, how we can create the attribute inside the class, how we can create the method inside the class, how we can initialize the attribute using init function, and how we can have define the methods. So first type of method is called instance method, where we have self as an attribute. Here also self as an attribute is an instance method. Then we have a class method where CLS is the attribute, and if it doesn't have any attribute, that is called static method. To call in all these methods, we have some provision. We can call all those methods by using dot operator. And we can use the object as well as the class name for doing that. So this is all about your class, its attribute, and the methods.